You need to hear this. Turkey unveiled a missile, not just any missile, an intercontinental ballistic missile, the kind that can travel 6,000 kilometers and hit targets across 3 continents. It is called the Yıldırım. In Turkish, that means lightning, and right now it has sent a bolt of shock through the defense world. Think about that for a second. A missile that, if launched from Istanbul, could reach London, Cairo, and Mumbai in minutes. Turkey is a NATO member. It has the alliance's second largest army, and now it is saying to the world, we can reach you from anywhere without asking anyone's permission. So what exactly is this missile? Why did Turkey build it? And what does it mean for you, for the region, and for the global security? Stay with me, because this story is bigger than most people realize. Here is what is going on. On Tuesday, Turkey held a massive defense exhibition in Istanbul. It is called Saha 2026. Think of it like a trade show, but for weapons and military technology. At that exhibition, Turkey's defense ministry unveiled a prototype, a full-scale model of the Yıldırım ICBM. The crowd saw it for the first time. The world saw it for the first time. Now, to be clear, Turkey has not built the actual missile yet. What they showed was a concept, a mock-up, a physical declaration of intent. But experts say that it is still a very big deal. Because here's the thing about ballistic missiles. Only a handful of countries on Earth have ever developed one with a range this long. The United States, Russia, China, France, the United Kingdom, North Korea, India, and Pakistan. Turkey is now knocking on that door. And the timing could not be more loaded. The Middle East is on fire. A fragile ceasefire between the US and Iran is barely holding. Israel is striking across the region. Ballistic missiles were intercepted over Turkish territory just weeks ago, and Turkey is surrounded by instability on nearly every border. Against that backdrop, this announcement lands with enormous weight. So, let us break down what we actually know about this missile. The Yıldırım has a range of 6,000 kilometers. That is roughly 3,700 miles. According to the Federation of American Scientists, any missile that flies more than 5,500 kilometers qualifies as an intercontinental ballistic missile. The Yıldırım crosses that line. Its top speed is Mach 25. That means it travels 25 times faster than the speed of sound. For context, a commercial plane flies at roughly Mach 0.85. This missile is almost 30 times faster than the plane you fly on. It has 4 rocket engines. It runs on liquid nitrogen tetroxide as fuel, and its warhead can carry up to 3,000 kilograms of payload. That is the weight of a small car delivered at a hypersonic speed. But, and this is important, what was shown in the exhibition was a prototype, a model. There has been no confirmed flight test. Many technical details are still unknown. Even the test facility Turkey plans to use, reportedly a base in Somalia, has not been built yet. One Istanbul-based defense analyst told Al Jazeera directly, he said, this is an announced ambition, not a fielded capability, not yet. But ambition, when backed by resources and a clear plan, has a way of becoming reality faster than the world expects. Now here is the question everybody is really asking. Why did Turkey do this? The short answer is this. Turkey is tired of depending on other countries to protect itself. For decades, Ankara relied heavily on the United States and Western Europe for its most critical weapons. But over time, it kept hitting walls. Restrictions on what it could buy, restrictions on how it could use what it bought, conditions attached to every deal. So Turkey made a decision. Build it yourself, own it completely, answer to no one. That shift started back in 1985 when Turkey set up its own defense development office. Slowly over decades, it built up its domestic arms industry. And today that industry is worth over $10 billion in annual exports. The famous Bayraktar TB2 drone alone has been sold to at least 31 countries, from Ukraine to Japan to Kenya. But the ICBM is different. This is not about selling a product. This is about sending a message. Turkey's defense minister said it plainly at the exhibition. He said economic cost has become an asymmetric weapon, and Turkey wants to offer its allies not just weapons, but technology and a sustainable security economy. This is the language of a country that sees itself as a major global power, not just a regional one. Let us be honest for a minute. There is more to this story than just pride and ambition. Because when you look at Turkey's neighborhood right now, fear is also a part of the equation. In March, ballistic missiles fired in the direction of Turkey were intercepted by NATO air defenses not once but twice, on March 4th and again on March 9th. Tehran denied firing them. Some analysts suggested Israel could have been involved as a provocation. But regardless of who fired them, the message was received in Ankara, loud and clear: you are not untouchable. Meanwhile, Israel has been striking deeper and deeper across the Middle East. Former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett recently called Turkey a threat. He said Israel must not turn a blind eye on Ankara. Other Israeli politicians have said similar things in recent months. Turkey has strongly condemned Israel's war on Gaza. President Erdogan called this blood-stained genocide. The relationship between Ankara and Tel Aviv has deteriorated sharply, and yet experts say reducing the ICBM announcement to a Turkey-Israel tension will be too simple, because Turkey is also managing a post-war Syria on its border, ongoing ongoing tensions in Iraq, an unresolved situation in the Eastern Mediterranean, and a neighborhood where almost every country is rearming fast. One analyst put it best. He said Turkey is encircled by instability, and it has concluded that alliance guarantees are not enough. It wants hard, sovereign deterrence, the kind no one can take away. So where does this leave NATO, and where does this leave the rest of the world? First, you need to understand this. Turkey is not breaking any rules. It is a sovereign country, and it has every legal right to develop its own weapons. And it is doing exactly what NATO agreed at last year's Hague Summit, spending more on defense, pushing towards 5% of GDP, and building up military capability. In fact, some NATO analysts welcome a stronger Turkey. The country sits on NATO's southern flank. It controls the Turkish Straits, the narrow waterways connecting the Black Sea to the Mediterranean. A militarily stronger Turkey, some argue, means a more capable alliance overall. But others are not so comfortable because an ICBM is not just a defensive tool, it is a symbol of strategic reach. And when a NATO member starts developing the capability to strike targets 6,000 kilometers away, that raises questions inside the alliance about alignment, about intentions, and about where Turkey is ultimately headed. There is also the space angle, and this surprises many people. The same technology that powers an ICBM is closely related to what you need to launch a rocket into orbit. Turkey has a civilian space program called Delta V. It wants to put its own satellites into space using its own rockets. The Eldmahan and that space program share underlying physics. So this is not just about weapons, it's about a technology story, a sovereignty story, and a story about a country that wants to be taken seriously in space. To understand why this announcement carries so much weight, you need to understand how far Turkey has come militarily. Not long ago, Turkey was almost entirely dependent on foreign weapons. American jets, European systems, imported technology for nearly everything critical. Then something shifted. Starting in the 2010s, Turkey began designing and building its own weapons from the ground up. Drones, ships, armored vehicles, and missiles. The industry exploded. Today, thousands of Turkish defense companies operate across land, air, and naval sectors. In 2025, Turkey's defense and aerospace exports hit a record over $10 billion in a single year. The Bayraktar TB2 drone became a global symbol of that transformation. It was not just used by Turkey. Ukraine used it against Russia. It changed the outcome of conflict. A Turkish-made drone changing wars on the world stage. Turkey's main customer for defense export include the UAE, Pakistan, and Qatar. The Bayraktar alone has gone to at least 31 countries. And now, sitting on top of all that is the Yıldırım, not just a new weapon, but a new declaration. Turkey is telling the world we are not a regional power anymore. We are a global one, and we intend to be that kind of country that cannot be coerced by anyone from anywhere. Here's the thing, Turkey has not fired this missile. It has not even built it yet. But the announcement alone has already changed something. It has changed how Turkey sees itself. It has also changed how its neighbors sees it. It has also raised a question inside NATO that nobody has a clean answer to. Is a more powerful, more independent Turkey a stronger ally or a more unpredictable one? What is clear is this: the world is rearming and fast. Countries that once relied on alliances and foreign weapons are now racing to build their own. Turkey is not alone in this, but it is moving faster and further than most people expected. The Yıldırım may be a prototype today, but prototypes have a way of becoming operational systems. And when that day comes, if it comes, the map of global military power will look a little different. Keep watching this story because it is not finished, not by a long way. If this broke it down for you, subscribe right now to The Voice for All. We post every day. Hit the bell so you never miss an update. We will keep tracking this story and every other that matters to your world. See you tomorrow.